We're going to get off to a good start. It's Monday, it's fresh. Who here sees production as being a lot of work? 1, 2, 3, everybody, right? Production is really a lot of work. And I was sitting at home and I said the best thing for me to bring in today was something that you guys can see how much work that Jeremy and myself put into a no-money feature film project that we did in 2 states. In saying that, I just want to say that structurally, we need to step it up. We're midway between the 7 weeks right now. This is the beginning of week 4. That means that there's 3 more weeks to pull it all together and operate like a fully functionable crew or team of producers and filmmakers. There's usually a chain of command in the order in which things happen in production, and we just wanted you guys to kind of be able to get your feet wet, understand the equipment, understand some of the tasks that go into production so that we can continue to give it to you the way that we do it. Jamodi spoke about a production. This is my production binder for the movie Refuge that we did. And I'm going to walk you through it really simply. But it's a lot of paperwork and it's a lot of time and energy that goes into producing real projects. And I say that to say that when you guys go out in the field, whether it's a small production or a big production, when you guys go out into the field, whether it's a small production or big production, it's really important that you add the scene. That means that if it's produced right, you'll look out for the pitfalls. What are the pitfalls? If you're shooting toward the sun, obviously the camera is just going to be all white behind them and the camera's not going to be able to fully adjust. And that's not a good look unless you're going for that overexposed, blown out, glaring sun look, which we aren't. So you want to take the time to turn your subject around and say, let me let the sun hit him in his face versus the sun behind him. You want the sun behind you in most cases, kind of off to the side if you can position yourself like that, so that it's that 45-degree angle. That's what your key light normally does in filmmaking. So we have to be able to structuralize these interviews and not just be out there running around with cameras, shooting stuff. Anybody can press record and come back and halfway edit something decent. We want to make a breakthrough project. And I feel that we're under a lot of pressure in terms of you guys need to look good so we can look good. So it's not so much about Boston Rising. You guys are the model program for me. And this is along the lines that me and Jamodi had been presenting other proposals and budgets for training, to train people in our community, same way we're doing with you guys. So it just fell in place and it's opportune. So my investment is in you guys, for you guys to take something from this that you can benefit from. So in saying that, I'm gonna walk you through, in simple part, this binder. This is my preface, obviously, the graphic that says what the movie is. Can everybody see? We don't want nobody falling asleep today because this is gonna be interactive and we're gonna do some writing over here. So everybody needs to stay awake. This is the preface. This says what it is. This is Refuge, the Lottie Mae story, a movie that I did in my mom's hometown from different stories. She had told me about this lady that was really a heroine of a woman. So I kind of changed the story, but made it my own. This is the biographies, the bios. I write bios for all my principal characters because I want people, when I put them before the camera, I want them to know exactly who this character is, what they like, where they come from, how old are they, what they smell like, what they feel like. I want them to be able to become that character. So the best way to do that is to put it in black and white. Character bios are really important because if you ask somebody to play a role, what am I playing? So, just do the stuff you do, and then you're gonna get what they give you versus what you want if you're serious about production. So I'm really anal. I do a lot of writing. That's all I really do. Here, so in speaking about the character bio, obviously this is the first character and the principal character, who is Lottie Mae. So her character bio is much longer than some of the other character bios that I put into the script. Whoever played this part they could identify with what I was asking of them as a director and the production demanded of them. And then the mom and all these other people. So that's one portion of it, is to know and identify who your characters are. Even if you're going out into the community and you say, okay, we're going to interview this guy, take a couple of minutes and ask him some questions. They do it in reality TV, trust me. When I worked for This Old House, you see it on TV and everybody thinks it's just running and gunning. It's not. Every morning when I showed up at the studio in Concord, they would be having a debriefing meeting about what house or home we were going to go to and who had written into the show about a leaky faucet or whatever the case was. That show is owned by Time Warner. It's the oldest how-to show in the world, really. It's actually 41 years old, I think, this year. From Bob Vila up to now, who does it is Kevin O'Connor. But the thing is, they, even though it's reality, they take the opportune times to sit down and say, well, this couple wrote in and they own the home for 3 years and the faucet's leaking and he's tried everything out of Home Depot shelf and it won't work, and they called Rich Pathui to come with his brothers and do some plumbing. They know, they took the opportunity to find out who their character was. Who are the players? That's what it boils down to. So if I'm interviewing Jeremy, I'll say, hey, how's it going? All right, you gonna agree to the interview? How long you lived here in Dorchester? What do you think about it? I don't mind taking a couple of moments of figuring out who this guy is before I put him on camera instead of just saying go. Secondly, when we're out there shooting, we need to take time to get alternative angles and shots. It's rare in production that you get a one-hit wonder. And you get one take and it's magic and we can just pack the trucks up. Never happens. Never, ever, ever happens. They shoot ratios, which is like 10-to-1 ratio. That means like they got a master plate shot in 12 different angles or options, close-ups and mediums and different variations. So it takes time to do good production. So if we're not taking the time to make sure that our productions and our interviews and what we're doing with this documentary looks good, it's just going to be kind of all over the place. Yeah, we can finish, but how do we want to finish? I'm about building a career in this. That's what I've been doing. Okay, so saying that, show you how much paperwork goes into this. This is a scene report. From this report, it tells me pretty much everything I need to know. So I don't need the script to know who the players are. Okay, I'm gonna pick one right here. I'll pick one where it has dialogue. Okay, so 1F, it tells me that the scene is 1F. It's interior, INT, the country trailer, it's in the kitchen, and it's in the evening. That's what that whole line tells me. It tells me that it's on page 3 in the script. It tells me that the whole length of the scene is 1 5/8 of a page. So I can know automatically, okay, we got almost 2 pages to shoot to wrap that up. I can know that just from this information here. It tells me that Jasper speaks 6 times and Lottie Mae speaks 6 times. It tells me how many times my characters speak. This is how much detail goes into real production. And this is not even on the level of what we do in Hollywood. This is me and Jeremy's doing. This is what we did in preparation. But I'm gonna talk to you a little more about that later on. So it's really detailed. And this is for the whole movie. Every scene has its own report. Then similar to that, you have here the breakdown. It tells us where the scenes are. This one says Georgia. All these scenes are in Georgia. So we're on page 1, 2/8 of a page, day 1, exterior/interior trailer evening. The cast is Lottie Mae. The props are laundry bag, clotheslines, biscuits, journal, pen, and dinner. This is the detail that goes into this stuff. You guys are not playing at this level. I clearly understand that. But what I'm saying is, you have to take time to prepare for whatever you're going to do production-wise, media-wise. You just can't sit down and make magic and expect it just to appear. It doesn't happen like that. They add the scene. They spend the time. The professionals that I've learned this from and he's learned this from.